the Trump Organization. And then there's this, Trump bragging that he, quote, will pay more taxes in 1 year than you pay in your entire life. Again, while paying no taxes for 10 of 15 years. And he...
Oh, you're an idiot. Oh, idiot. Hey, YouTube. All right, I'll wait till more people come in, and then after that, I will begin. I'm going to start doing some introduction music. Okay, give me the thumbs up if you're in, and post who's here. Who's in the room? Keeping it positive. Hey, well, I'm doing well. I never seen your name before. Who is keeping it positive? Hey, Sean B. If you're new, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. All right, there's 3 of y'all in the room. I'm going to wait just a few more minutes. Then I'm going to start. Wait a minute. This pays $6. All right, let me start. And then more people will jump in. I'm not going to stay on long. I've been working all day and just came home from the Cab Farmers Market, bought me some vegetables and a few little staples, but mostly fruits and vegetables. Hey, I'm new. Okay, you're new. Well, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And, all right. And how did you come across my channel anyway, keeping it positive? So I could check and see if you have a YouTube channel. All right, y'all. So let me start. Now, as most of y'all know, the Orange Man, a.k.a. Donald Trump, a.k.a. the hair, whatever. No, he ain't no Mr. Hair. The Orange Man, some people call him, because his complexion looks orange. So, finally, after almost 4 years, his tax return has finally been released, y'all. Finally been released. And he's been fighting for years, even going as far as to the Supreme Court to keep his tax return a secret. Now we know why. Now, according to the New York Times and the major news outlets and everyone else around the world, it turns out that our Trump president only paid $750 of taxes. Yes, $750 within the last 3 years. Prior to that, 10 years prior, it determined he hasn't paid any income tax. Zero. Zilch. Nada. But he wants to... I just got to watching just a snippet of CNN. Wow, he always deflects. Well, Obama didn't pay enough taxes, and he makes da da da. Okay, y'all. He always deflects. He's nothing but a liar. And then just a few minutes ago, as I was listening, they said he even wrote off doing his hair as a tax write-off. Someone that I know used to follow you. I don't have a channel. Exactly. Ancient Orange. Then he got the nerve to deflect on what President Obama paid in taxes and what Bezos paid in corporate taxes. But here it is. You ain't paid. And then he got the nerve to say most Americans don't pay enough taxes. Oh, really? Oh, really? You were billions of dollars. You paid only $750 in federal tax. You know how many tax, and you know what? You know how much tax that I paid? If I paid $750 in taxes, that's almost like 3 months. That's almost 3.5 months of taxes that comes out of my federal tax return. And that's even lowballing it at that. Lowball. I pay about 5,000 plus. Now I haven't even looked at my tax returns, but I know 1 year I paid approximately, and I haven't even looked at the tax return. I know that I paid about $5,000 to $7,000 in federal tax, and I get back out of overpaying of a tax refund of probably maybe $1,000, $1,200, $1,300 in a refund check. And then don't forget the fact that I also pay real estate taxes, property taxes, car taxes, taxes on everything when I go to the store. Now, I'm not going to go into tax law changes and the difference and all that. If I only pay $750 taxes, my wages would be garnished. Yeah, I'm not even going to say to go after the little man. We're not even going to go about the little man because, see, first of all, when someone say the little man, if you ain't make no money, most of the time you don't have no taxes. So I don't like to say, oh, the little man, because it's not the little man. Either two people, well, two groups of people rather, I would say don't pay hardly any taxes. And I ain't going to get into no debate about big corporations pay taxes and all that because the law gives them tax shelters to file in foreign countries overseas and incorporate, their businesses. That's why they incorporate in such countries like Ireland, Mexico, because, I'm not even going to talk about corporations because, number one, major companies like Amazon and companies in general, they hire employees to pay salaries and jobs, and companies get tax breaks in exchange for something else. So I'm not going to put corporations in that category about, oh, they don't pay no taxes because it's way more than what most people realize. So I'm not going to go into about how the corporate structure works because, I worked at the IRS over 10 and a half years. I worked at the IRS starting in 1996, 97, came back in 2006 and worked in 2016. And all of my life, I can say, most of my life, I had studied. I have my MBA. I have a master's in taxation. I've taken advanced classes. So when people speak about corporations and they don't pay no corporate tax, even with stupid ass Trump. Well, Bezos didn't pay no taxes. He got these tax breaks. What do you think your company, Trump, has been getting? You get the same tax privileges just like any other corporation in all these United States. So please don't let's talk about, because there's a difference between federal income tax for individuals and then there are taxes for corporations. Their filing systems and how they file is way different. The tax rules apply separate and regarding that. So we're not going to get into the corporate taxes and 941s and all that because y'all not even going to understand what I'm talking about. Most people think that corporations don't pay no taxes, whatever the case may be. But you have to understand, a corporation files taxes. They have different forms, they have different rules, they have different ways in which they file. It's not the same as an individual who filed a 1040 EZ, 1040A, and 1040. It is totally different. First of all, as a corporation, you file 941 for the payroll tax, then you file quarterly taxes 4 times a year, then you file way more forms. Way more. So we're not going to put corporations in that equation. But when it comes to an individual, if you don't make no money and you make $12,000, $13,000 a year, first of all, you don't have no taxes to pay. So we can't include the little man. Now, you want to say poor people who don't make no money, they get just the same tax breaks. They get earned income credit, they get this kind of credit, they get a lot of refundable credits. Same thing that people who got money, the same way they get to take advantage of tax breaks and everything else. You may work millions and millions of dollars. You pay a lot of taxes. So I really would like for people to not keep thinking somebody who will make no money don't pay tax. They pay a lot of their wages are garnished. If your wage, let me tell you something. If your wages are garnished, trust me, they're not gonna garnish somebody's wages just because they owe. They won't garnish your wages is because you had 6 months where they send certified letters in the mail stating that you owe taxes. And trust me, to owe taxes mean you made some money, first of all. For people whose wages are garnished, you made substantial amount of money to owe the IRS, and you didn't pay no taxes on income that is taxable. So that's a whole new video. And hopefully none of y'all who are my subscribers are not in that predicament. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, some of y'all are going to be in that predicament, especially the ones who flash. I made 1800 a week doing Uber Eats and Grubhub and and you ain't paid no, and you made $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 of self-employment taxes and you ain't pay no tax. You're in that group too. You're in that group where the IRS is going to say you didn't pay any taxes on that self-employment income because you cannot write off all $50,000, $60,000 plus dollars and don't have no W-2 that takes out taxes to offset the taxes that's owed on that 1099. So I keep preaching this to the cows come home about this estimated tax. So that's y'all not included in that either. But I'm going to talk about that in another video. So I'm going to stay on topic. So Trump paid $750 in tax. $750. And he wrote off things like hiring his daughter as a consultant for his company, even though that's just the one egregious thing. I didn't even hear the rest of the I didn't even read the rest of the New York Times report in terms of what that tax return looked like. But I will be looking to see if I can even see it. He wrote off his hair. He wrote off a whole bunch of things. Now you tell me if the IRS is not going to investigate and audit that mess. Here it is. I worked at the IRS as a federal employee for 10.5 years. As a federal employee, especially for the IRS, as an employee, they scrutinize tax returns of employees. People have gotten fired. They got suspended for filing a Schedule C. And then they determined that it was, I don't even say fraudulent, questionable Schedule Cs, writing off things as a federal employee or a Schedule C. Because number one, when I worked at the IRS, you couldn't work a second job. You could not work a second job or do a side gig or have your own business without letting the IRS know that what kind of business you're doing and get permission to do so. Because it's so easy to say, oh, I got a business and I'm going to write off XYZ, WYZ, everything else into the world. So as a federal employee, especially for the IRS, your tax return was scrutinized. They go hard on employees more than they go on the general public. So I'm not trying to be rude, keeping it positive, but the IRS does not go after no little people or the little man over no tax return when you ain't make no money. So please, let's get that mystical, get that out of the way. Because I'm vouching for it personally. Not what I think, not what I know, but what is factual. So let's get away from that mindset about, oh, they go after the little man. Poor people or people who make no money don't pay no taxes. Just the same as people who make a lot of money, millions of dollars. People may think they don't pay a lot of taxes, but I've seen the returns. I've seen various returns, and trust and believe, under that federal withholdings, when they file their tax return and they make six figures, they pay a lot of money in taxes. I tell you that. So we're not talking about companies. We're not talking about corporations. That's a whole different ballgame. People who make a lot of money pay a lot of money in taxes. I will tell you that. I'm going to tell you that right now. People who made no money or less money seem to get a bigger refund than anybody else, than the regular person. So who is left that basically gets scrutinized with taxes and paying a lot of taxes? The so-called middle class. If there isn't a middle class, there's no middle class anymore. Either you don't have no money and you're struggling, or you doing well. But in terms of the middle people or the shrinking middle class, the ones who pay 25 to 33% of federal taxes, who makes an average income of at least 40,000 to 50,000 as a single person, paying $5,000-6,000+ in federal taxes a year. That means I paid almost 100 times. Okay, I'm nude. All right, we ain't gonna be playing. I'm nude. I don't know what that symbol supposed to mean. If that's shit, then you need to get out. Because I'm not trying to play with y'all, with trolls tonight. So here it is. Let me see if I could even pull up that article and read it. That's ridiculous. And then he got the nerve to say, vote early. I'm going to try to, but I can't guarantee that I will vote. That's for sure, Hardin. Here it is. People that I got fired at the IRS for not paying taxes on time. If you don't pay your taxes and you owe, you get suspended. Here it is. Trump paid $750. What kind of injustice is that? Tell me. Then the previous 10 years prior, they say he paid zero income tax. But what did he do today? He diverts. Blame it, but President Obama didn't pay. He only paid, he paid. What? Bye. It's ridiculous. Up Kansas City 27-10, Baltimore 10, Kansas City 27. Woo! That person, keep going. Let me go to CNN so I can read this. See what else they said. And then here it is. 1 million people. They reached 1 million people today. 1 million people in 8 months. 1 million people has passed away for COVID-19. He is a crook and a liar. And you telling me that you're gonna sit there and tell me that people are going to still vote for him? Psst, you're delusional. Hey, Love Johnson. All right, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe to the channel. This is what Trump. You know what? I'm not even going to hear that whole mess. It says, how does the U.S. tax law allow billionaires not to pay? Read this and try to understand it. Nope. I ain't got time to read that tonight. Trump taxes tell a tax of debt and desperation. Lying ass. Where is it at? Yep, Biden Harris 2020. And I ain't even gonna see what that dumbass Trump said about Obama. They ain't pay enough taxes, and they got the nerve to say most Americans don't pay enough taxes. And here it is, y'all people want to vote for him. Is that in the tax code? He said, "Man, bye. Fake news, my ass." And I mean, this man is just plumb ass crazy. Fake news, okay. So the New York Times and all the major outlets got the tax return, and you're gonna say fake news. You know what? I should turn around and do an open record request. You know, as a citizen, you could actually submit Freedom of Information Act and request an open record and review it for yourself. You know that, right? Oh, you know what? We got 5 more Tuesdays. 5 more Tuesdays. And we're going to do, we better do what we're going to do. Hey, Erica. I figure you were. You know that Kansas City's winning, so it doesn't make any damn sense. There are people, federal employees, or the IRS get suspended for owing taxes, you know, and filing Schedule C and whatever. Here it is. You gonna put down and divert other people what they didn't do. He sounds like a big baby. Mommy, well, you get in trouble. Well, so-and-so did it. Why he ain't get, see, worried about the wrong people. Worried about the wrong ass people. That's why he didn't say nothing. That's why he was trying to get the Supreme Court and everybody else, you know, the Supreme Court to shelter those tax returns so nobody would see it. Took him 4 years, almost 4 years to finally get that exposed. Every single president in the United States has shown their tax return to the public. Every single one of them. Look it up. It tells you how much President Obama paid, how much money he made in tax, how much money he made, and how much taxes he paid. As a president, you only make what, $385,000 plus a year or whatever the thing is. So prior for 8 years, that's what President Obama made as a public servant president. Now, anything else he made in interest in the millions, and the monies he's made him and First Lady, about he ain't paid enough taxes. Let me tell you something. I'd rather be, if you owe the IRS money, you ain't poor. Only people who owe taxes is one who has money. I don't know. I don't even know I don't even know what they're gonna feel. All I know one thing, according to the recent updates, they said it was at least 5 or 7 senator seats that's gonna be flipped. They turn around and follow behind Trump if they want. Turn around and follow what they want. And I could assure you, unlike the president position that has a term of 2 terms, these people who follow behind him and think that they think their job is going to be secure. See, there's no term limit to be a senator. Turn around and follow behind Trump. Your ass going to be kicked out when they have the next election. So I think some Senate and the Senate and the House it interchange every 2 years. They go up for election. So for those who are up for election, the reason why some of they ain't saying nothing, the ones who ain't speaking up, they so quick to do things, they term ain't up this year in November. Their term is up 2 years from now. So by then, they already know, okay, is Trump going to be the president or is someone else going to be or Biden going to be the president? So depending on when their seat in term is up for re-election, that's the way they're going to go. They ain't going to cover up for him. They're not going to cover up because, see, the ones who is up for term election this year, they just not going to say nothing. See, the ones who has a conscience in terms of even voting for the Supreme Court and pushing that, they trying to push that. They trying to push that so quick. There's only some. The ones who so quick to do it, they basically are not challenged for their seat. Their Senate seat is not challenged. Their seat is not challenged. And the ones who ain't, they ain't covering it up because they already know their agenda. Most of them, if they've been in there for 20, 30, 40 years, see, they already get a pension. They say, okay, you know what? They already know. Oh, I'm not running. If they 80, 78, 80, up in age, they only got maybe a few more years before they decide, you know what? I'm going to retire. I'm moving on. The ones who stay in. Let me tell you about the ones who stay. Now, I'm going to speak of black folks. But black folks, like the ones in my district, Johnson. He ain't got no contender against his seat. So they one of those. So let me lay back. I got a cushion job. Ain't nobody gonna take my seat. So they ain't gonna say nothing. They ain't gonna do nothing either. They'll do their little community service. All right, we giving away some food. The first 500 people, and then give you some. Have some food drive or something, whatever. That like that other one in Georgia, Scott. Oh, he talks a good game. Now, I don't know too much about him. I ain't criticizing him. But at the same time, what have they really done in the districts that they serve? College Park and East Point and all that South, where all those black folks live down in the South, it ain't look no better. And they always going to vote. They're going to go in that vote. They're going to go in that booth. They're going to see one name. Oop, we're going to vote for him because they're so used to it. There's no person challenging him. So they're not gonna say a whole lot of nothing. They're gonna do their little thing when they come back home. We having a food drive and thank God and and go to every black mega church in Atlanta. Now they can't go to the church because it's closed, but they're gonna go to every V103 and all these radio stations, pitch their little food drive and pitch some little job fair and then put their name on it and think they're doing something. And then have a little food bank from the Atlanta Food Bank come down with the truck, giving out most items that people don't even want. I ain't trying to be selfish and be selfish or nothing, but most of these food banks and places they donate food and stuff. They gonna say, oh, okay, come on for the first. That's why you have to register. You go to join their mailing list with your email, and then they'll spam you to death about money, asking for government contributions and stuff like that. And then they only give out food for the first 200-300 people. They have, we have a school supply drive, and they give it, they'll give, whatever. If they got 200 book bags, they'll put one notebook pad, one pack of paper, and a pack of pencils or pens, or something from the Dollar Tree or whatever, and then bring people right along the way. That ain't nothing. I ain't saying people, if they don't have anything, You go to the food bank or you go to school drives and get supplies because they can't afford it. But that's what most politicians, they'll do their little thing. They're not being contested. They ain't being contested. So, and I hate to say it, even even when see how name just slipped my mind that quick. Let me see. Hold on a second. Even when Senator John Lewis, you know, his seat had never been contested since in the 40 years he held that seat. He kept that seat until the day he passed. But he didn't move, you know. And the reason why is because nobody contested his seat. He had a wide range district. Nobody contested it. Nobody ran against him in all these years. And if someone did try to do it, you know, people automatically voted for the incumbent. But other than that, ain't nobody ran against him. That man kept that seat to the day he died. So most people in the Senate House, they keep those seats, and very few seats get flipped, turns blue, and vice versa. Now, vice versa, it may turn blue to red, depending on how they draw those congressional lines. They draw those congressional lines, which correlates to gentrification. When white folks move in certain areas, they'll draw the political lines just enough for it to turn a Republican. So follow what I'm saying. So this year is also the census. So everyone, you got until September 30th, which is the end of the month, which is a couple of days, to take part in the census. I don't care. You got to count. You count everybody in your household. Because those congressional lines are going to, because see, it's not always about, well, which school district get money for schools and da-da-da, and how many people. The main thing come out the census that's important is how many seats is going to be determined in the House of Representatives. Whether it's going to be 2, 5, 10, 8. That determines the electoral college, which turns around. The electoral college decides who will become the next president. It's not the popular vote. Everybody says, "Oh, yes, you have to go out and vote," but it is the electoral college that casts the vote after the election is over, determine who becomes president. Please study your history. Please study social science. So please study your history and how it works, because it all boils down to. Now, I know I went off topic, but in actuality, I'm not really off topic because, number one, will this tax return finally be the nail in the coffin? Will it be the nail in the coffin? Will it be the smoking gun if they decide, okay, why is this return the way it is? Now we're going to need to audit it. Because, you know, the CSTED, which is the collection statute of limitations, that does not expire in terms of auditing a return. If they wanted to go back and audit a return, they could go back and audit it. They really could. And they could do it. And I could assure you, Trump knows it. He's going to fight every bullet, every nail, every coffin about questioning the IRS. And therefore, he's going to turn around and probably change some rules, or he think he could change some rules with the IRS. And let me tell you, the last quarter is October 1st. That's when the budget is passed. So if Trump turns around, wants to change the tax code in the tax law, who do you think is going to benefit if he decides to make some changes when it comes to taxes? It's gonna benefit him or find a way to benefit him. So when he said, and now American people ain't paying taxes, that fool even remotely thinks he gets elected. What you think gonna happen? God forbid he gets elected next year to 2021, and they're gonna get at him with that tax return. That man might be vengeful and turn around and say, I'm gonna cut all these so-called tax credits that benefits the American people. He may say, no more earned income credit, no more child tax credit. No, we're going to revamp the tax law for simple, period. And let me tell you who's going to hurt. We're going to hurt the middle class, the people who pay majority of taxes. That's who it's going to affect. So he's going to try to be a bully and try to benefit and change some tax laws and push it, because if he gets in there, he only got 4 years. He can't go no more than 4 more years. Watch what I say. Watch what I say. Let me wake up November the 5th, 4th, or let me wake up on my birthday, November 18th, because if they don't have all those votes counted, it may take a month. So Lord, please, November 18th come on my birthday, and they say, okay, well, it's too close, and it runs over for the next 15 more days, and on my birthday, and then some bullshit come up, and then they got to go to the Supreme Court to determine who will be the next president, because that's who it goes down to. If there's a discrepancy, the final say is going to be boiled down to the Supreme Court and that Electoral College. So if this ain't the last goddamn straw, and people don't wake up after that's the slap in the damn face as a citizen of the United States who pay taxes, to say you pay $750 and you pay zero taxes, and you writing down stupid stuff like your hair and claiming your daughter as a consultant and a whole bunch. I didn't even read the whole thing, because I was like, after I heard those two things, I was like, you know what, this is plain stupid. And they gonna say most Americans don't pay enough taxes. Say that to the 300 million whatever people unemployed who've been working for years, and all the money they pay in taxes. Tell that to those people who makes 50,000, 40 to 50,000 average in this country, who pays 5, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 plus dollars in taxes. Well, the taxes that I pay on property taxes. I already got my tax bill for my property tax for my tax bill was $1,300 plus dollars in this house for the property tax for DeKalb County. When I first bought this house 11 years ago, the taxes was $750 something dollars or something like that. I knew it was 700 something. It wasn't no thousand. I know that. It was 700 something. Here it is. It's almost double in the 10 years. Now that's a good thing, because property tax is determined in terms of based on the value. So that means my house is going up in value. But I paid my property tax alone was more than what Trump paid in a given year. So in actuality, if I add the property taxes, the cars taxes, the ad valorem tax, some people call it, that alone is $2,000 plus dollars in property taxes. CNN interviewed voters today, and they didn't care. You know what? Let them not be outraged, because obviously they don't know nothing. They talk about you don't care. Okay, dumb motherfuckers. I don't know who the hell they spoke to, but they surely come and speak to me. And I live in Atlanta. CNN is headquarters here in Atlanta. Now, of course, I wouldn't get on TV but looking like this, but I could assure you, if they ain't outraged about that news, you know what? I give up. I give up. I give up. I don't want to give up. I don't give a damn two fat rat ass if anybody talking about I look you and I need no, no. I'm not having no sympathy for nothing like that. You don't care about what he paid in taxes. Okay. Your ass will care when they don't pass that damn stimulus and you ain't getting that $600 every week and unemployment tax sitting on your fucking ass when you get that tax bill next year for none of the taxes you paid on that income in the goddamn year. And when they turn around and they said companies were not to take out um Medicare tax, and you know that's deferred, by the way. So when next year come and you say, well, damn, why I owe $1,000+ and you ain't got it, come back later and say, come back later and say, I didn't care what the president do when your fucking ass owes thousands of dollars in taxes, even if it's $500. Most people probably ain't gonna have the money next year. And see if they're gonna be a moratorium on not paying the tax, when all they're going to do is withhold the interest and penalties for a certain number of months if this thing doesn't get cleared up. Just because they give you an extension for filing a tax doesn't give you an extension to pay. So you know what? Turn around and say you don't care. Turn around and say, I don't care what the president do. With a stroke of a pen. So you know what? I ain't stressing myself out no more. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Vote. Most people. And if I vote early, I probably go and volunteer at the polls. Take off from work that day because I volunteer, and I'll probably work the polls for that whole day. So I just need to contact the DeKalb County tomorrow when I'm on the phone and ask them if they could send me an application, or do I have to go all the way down there and fill out a paper application, which I don't understand why they don't have it online. Why I got to go all the way to Memorial Drive to get the paper to apply to work the polls. All you're doing is sitting at a desk and checking people's IDs, and you do the online class. I was a poll worker several years ago. It ain't that hard, trust me. But if anybody wants to make $150, $175, go to your state voter registration. They looking for volunteers. Volunteer don't mean it's free. Volunteer means they're gonna pay you. And then $150, $175 for one day, I think it's worth doing it. So I'm going to mail off my ballot request because I already got one in the mail today to submit a ballot in the mail. Put it in the mailbox tomorrow, and then I'll get my not absentee vote. Either I'll vote early, depending on where it is, because if it's convenient for me, it ain't no long ass lines. Then I'm gonna do it, especially if it's on a weekend, because I work 11:30 to 8, and I'm off Thursday and Friday from Wayfair, but I work at night at Amazon. So one of those days will be Thursday, Friday. This week I'm gonna go down there and fill out the application to be a poll worker, and then I'm gonna see where I can vote early or mail it in the box. But if I do volunteering on election day, then I'm gonna vote early. But if they don't need no one in the DeKalb County to volunteer to polls, then I'm just gonna vote on election day. But I'm gonna try to vote and be a volunteer during the polls. But I'm gonna ask them if I could work at the poll around the corner from my house. Even those at the schoolhouse, hopefully it won't be hot because every time I go in there, they turn off the damn air conditioner and sometimes it'll be hot in there, but they even with all the doors open. So I'm just asking y'all. See, a lot of people say, "Oh, vote, vote." Yeah, vote. It's more than the president, but it's also the other local officials that's important as well. They have more of an impact on what's going on, more of the local, more so than the president. You know, but I'm gonna try. I'll try my damnedest, and I sure hope people stay woke and don't be dumb and stupid about. I don't care. You don't care that he paid $750 and he said most people don't pay taxes or enough taxes. Deflecting as usual. Ain't no surprise that he was even do stupid stuff like that. But the fact I'm more shocked the fact that it said he only paid $750 in tax. That's what I'm shocked about. Who way they do that at? All these millions of returns I've viewed in all the years I worked there. Even I can't tell y'all some people's returns because I even seen people um who are millionaires or famous people, I guess you want to say. I don't know. I've seen their tax returns and they sure pay more than $750. I can tell you that. I've seen many of returns. I've seen returns where people made a lot of money, and I've seen a whole lot of taxes coming out that W 2, and I've seen a whole lot of money made on Schedule C, and I've seen a whole lot of money that people paid in estimated tax. So I have never seen somebody pay $750 in federal tax that's worth billions. Never. Never. So I don't even know why he even tried to bring up Bezos and President Obama, and then you got the nerve. They got the nerve to put most American people. Man, last time I got them check, I was paying $4, $5, $6,000 just in federal taxes coming out of the W-2, and you add another $2,000, $3,000 to that. If I really wanted to add up all of my returns in federal tax, I ain't never seen no $750 withholdings. The only time you won't see $750 withholdings on anybody is if you a teenager or you somebody just who got a little part-time job, and your parents file you on a return. You may have paid $700. The last time I seen $750, $500 in tax withholding was when I was like a teenager making about $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a year as a part-time job. And they took out $700, $800, and then I was entitled to that $800 because I was claimed as a dependent. That's the only time I've seen a low withholdings. Minimum wage job making, five something an hour back in the 80s. $7 in the 90s, and I paid $700 in taxes, making $8,000 a year. A grown ass man may put down that he only paid $750. And then the previous years, in the previous 10 years, you paid zero. Man, y'all better be woke. Y'all better stay woke. Watch what I say. Watch what I say. Y'all see. Never been so dang insulted in my life. Here it is. I'm a federal employee. I got every right to go and contact my senator and ask for my damn job back. Well, if you get the president get away with that, then you need to put me back. Hire me back. Y'all need help anyway. Turn around, pay that amount. Man, boo. It's ridiculous. Anyway, what y'all anyone got to say? I'm tired of venting on that. I've vented on that for 50 minutes. So, what y'all got to say on that matter? All right, give me the thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Hey, this game be too long. 27-13. All right, what time is it? 51:22. All right, I'm going. It's 10:17. My eyes are tired. I'm gonna see what happens on Wayfair.com. See what stuff I could buy. See what kind of things I could get. All right, y'all. I will talk to y'all later. Ain't nobody else coming on. So, Harden, keeping it positive. Love Johnson. Erica, Cole is 85. Who else on here? I see 8 people, but I don't see All right. I'm about to go. Oops, who got a comment? All right, keeping it positive. Y'all have a good night. I'll talk to y'all probably tomorrow. All right. See y'all.